Whew, this is the last one, guys. The probability that a person is a smoker is 0.35. Write that down. And it tells me the probability that a person will develop lung cancer is 0.02. I'm sorry, not 0.02, 0.2. 0.2. The probability that a person is a smoker and develops lung cancer is 0.7. So that would be our and or our both here, our intersection. Smoker and lung cancer is 0.7. And the question here that we're being asked to solve is, are these events independent? So remember, if we're talking about independence, we're looking at the probability of A times the probability of B equals the probability of A and B. When it says explain your reasoning, this is my work to explain my reasoning. You don't have to give a verbal explanation. You're just going to show me what you were doing. So I'm going to call this event A. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put my 3500ths here. And I'm going to call lung cancer event B. And so I'm going to put my, oops, not equals, times, my 0.2 here. And I'm going to put my overlap, my and. This by default is A and B. So make sure you're always choosing the overlap as this one. Which one you call A and which one you call B doesn't matter, but this is really important. It has to be that overlapping region. And so it should equal 0.7. Now again, we're just going to solve this multiplication problem. So 35 times 2 is 70. But if you notice, we have 1, 2, 3 decimal places in the problem. So I should be going 1, 2, 3 over. And so my answer here should be 0.07. And 0.07 and 0.7 are not the same number, and therefore these are not independent events. Now again, remember that just means there's some kind of relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean it's causation, although in this case, we do know from lots and lots of medical research that smoking definitely can cause lung cancer. It's not the only thing, but it definitely does impact, and it does increase your risk. So it makes sense these would not be independent. All right, I'm going to pause this right now. You should pause along with me so that you can try K and L, and I will post those answers here in just a minute. Alrighty, and I'm back. So for Jake and Billy, the probability that Jake or Billy will pop a wheelie on their next attempt is 5400ths or 54%. If your answer doesn't match mine, go back and check carefully. It was really sneaky here in this sentence. It says Billy cannot pop a wheelie 60% of the time. That means we should actually be using the opposite of that. Instead of using 60%, we should use 40% in our calculations, so double check that one. In example L, when we use our independence rule, A times B equals A and B, these two numbers are not the same, and therefore these are not independent events. There is some relationship between English grades and science grades. And finally, the probability of getting an A in English or in science is about 63%. Alrighty guys, we have finished up lesson 4. Watch carefully, take notes carefully. Homework will post on Tuesday. Good night.